welcome to another episode of Frightfully Forgotten. But to start things off, what are we drinking today?
We're drinking Fire in the Sky Rye IPA. If you want the recipe, click the link above.
Today we are going to be talking about a kind of a lost Stephen King movie, Graveyard Shift, which came out in 1990. It is directed by Ralph Singleton, and he really hasn't done anything else besides like 2 episodes for Cagney and Lacey.
Yeah. The movie stars Stephen Macht. He was in Monster Squad. Another movie he was in was Amityville Horror 1992. It's About Time. Yeah. These houses, they're too small. Just too damn small. Forget about One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Forget about Exorcist 3. Brad Dourif's greatest role is Graveyard Shift.
His character doesn't even have a name. So the movie starts off with this guy working the graveyard shift at like a textile plant, infested in rats. And it's hot. And I guess he's fed up with the rats. So he picks one up, he throws a rat in the threshing machine. And you could sense that the rats, you know, they're planning something. But then you see this big shadow come out of nowhere, pushes the guy into the threshing machine, and, wow, he gets all threshed up. Then this drifter shows up in town. His name is John Hall. And he's looking for work, and he walks into this diner. There's a job at the textile mill, well, because the guy was killed, so there's an opening. And he goes for an interview, and this is where we meet Warwick, a womanizing, hard-ass boss, a punching bag in the corner of his office, a bottle of Jim Beam.
Of course, too. He's all drinking on the job. There's an inspector that comes by, and he basically orders Warwick to start cleaning this basement up because it's in violation. Warwick has to get a night crew together to basically clean up all the shit in the basement of this mill. Brad Dourif, he's the exterminator in this. Super eccentric, he's all chewing tobacco and everything. And
he's got the dangly 80s earring.
Yeah, he's got this huge vendetta against like mice and rats from him being in Vietnam. This big monologue where he goes into detail on how the Viet Cong used to cut them open and force the rats inside of them. They'd basically eat the Americans from the inside out. Raw American, hold the mayo. John Hall befriends a woman that works at the plant too, Jane. So Warwick is getting all kind of pissed off at that too. He's getting a little jealous. Almost forces this John to join the night crew. The secretary, she gets all mad and smashes his car all up.
With an axe?
Right through the windshield. Fun's over. Back to work. One night cleaning up.
Guy's going all nuts with that hose.
That nice credenza that guy finds.
He destroys it with the hose. It just blows up.
They find this trap door. So while they're exploring, that guy with the hose. Yeah, he walks into all these cobwebs and shit. Goes to run up the stairs and the stairs collapse. And he lands into like all this water. He starts freaking out even more because he's saying, there's something down here. The rest of them are trapped now because the stairs have collapsed. There's no way out. That's where we're going to end it because there's a monster following them. Warwick's gone mad. Yeah. And they all got to find their way out. I really enjoyed this movie. I really enjoyed it. And the funny thing is, though, you always seem to forget that it's even part of the Stephen King mix. You've got It, that came out the same year. And I think this movie just gets lost in the mix.
Yeah, well, this movie I don't think did too well in the box office either. I think it was kind of a flop. What this movie's really good at is it has great atmosphere, great sets. The factory is like a really creepy, dark, dirty atmosphere, and then there's the graveyard outside, those catacombs and everything, and that's a really cool setting. So all the settings are really good, and the sets look really good. And at the end, there's that big, huge
boneyard kind of thing,
which looks great, and it makes you feel dirty.
Yeah, scummy and everything.
Yeah, the rats. And I feel good about my job, and I feel good about my life right now because I'm not there.
Yeah. Almost puts you there.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, you do feel like you're in there.
Yeah.
Which is why you feel dirty and disgusting.
Exactly.
does a good job of sucking you right into that plant with them.
The setting itself becomes deadly.
The actual mine shaft is dangerous. Warwick's gone nuts. There's the monster in there too. Like, everything is against you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The monster's wicked.
Yeah, like, you only see part of it ever. You never see it in its entirety. You just always kind of see the head or the tail or whatever.
Yeah, practical effects.
Warwick is such a good antagonist. He kind of makes the movie. If it wasn't for the Warwick, the character, or the actor, this movie wouldn't be nearly as good.
Right.
Because you just love to hate him. But you kind of root for him sometimes, too. Like at the end where he's gone nuts and he kind of wants to kill the monster.
Yeah.
As well as everyone else. But because he's out to get the monster, too, you're kind of like, yeah, go, Warwick, go get him.
Going to hell.
Yeah.
Together! The production value for this movie is great, too.
By Paramount, so it was done by a major movie studio. In the 90s, that's when all the made-for-TV Stephen King adaptations started coming out. So you're always kind of comparing to those.
Yeah.
Because those kind of look cheap. There's a fight scene at the end, this big boneyard, and it's such a fun fight. They're rolling around these bones and hitting each other with these fucking femurs and stuff, and skulls.
Yeah. This movie is very reminiscent of, like, The Descent, My Bloody Valentine, claustrophobic kind of feel to it. I think this should be right up your alley.
Sick of watching, The Shining for the gazillionth time and It for the gazillionth time. Change it up and put on Graveyard Shift.
Excellent.
Keep drinking.